Good evening. My name is Tom Morazzo. I'm the police liaison for the Freedom Convoy 2022. The statements and actions by the Chief of Police has deliberately set the conditions for potential violence against the peaceful protesters of the Freedom 2022 convoy. Although the tax-paying citizens of Ottawa call this their home, ordinary tax-paying Canadians call this their nation capital. The legacy media has intentionally misled the public into believing the freedom movement has been responsible for crime. The OPS is fully aware many of their ongoing investigations were initiated as a result of the truckers reporting incidents that they have witnessed. This protest has been peaceful. We have been cooperating and will continue to cooperate with the OPS and PPS. Anyone exhibiting violence or aggressive behavior should be held individually accountable. The Freedom Convoy movement does not condone aggression or violence. Groups inciting violence are not affiliated with us in any way. Since my arrival, I have gone to great lengths to build rapport and a strong working relationship with local law enforcement. To a large degree, that has been successful with the OPP and the PPS. However, the same cannot be said for the OPS, Ottawa Police Service leadership that I have been speaking with. In my negotiations with them, they have chosen to take the posture of a hostage negotiation rather than working to a safe, peaceful, and responsible relationship that may exist for months to come. Safety is a fundamental goal of all members of the convoy, the police, and the public. We have worked tirelessly to maintain safe corridors for all forms of emergency vehicles in order to ensure there is no interruptions to emergency services. We have agreed to keep specific roads wide open at the request of the Ottawa Police Services. These are the olive branches we have extended, and in return, we have received nothing but inflammatory accusations and misinformation perpetrated by the Ottawa Police leadership. The convoy has the word freedom in its title. The statement from earlier today by the Ottawa Chief of Police is an attempt to rebrand an entire worldwide movement as a criminal organization. We have also consistently been on the receiving end of much hostility from some citizens of Ottawa, but it pales in comparison to the love and the support and generosity as proven by our Adopt a Trucker program, where citizens of Ottawa have provided hot showers, warm beds, and home-cooked meals. We have done everything possible in order to maintain safety and peaceful demonstration in Ottawa. These efforts to rebrand this freedom movement into a criminal organization have failed, as Canadians and people from all over the world have sent the truckers to Ottawa to deliver a message of freedom. And they've used their hard-earned money, donations, support, and love to send us here. Millions of dollars in support have been delayed, but they cannot diminish our resolve. We have secured an alternative platform, Give, Send, Go, where supporters can be assured their donations will be effectively dispersed to members of the convoy. We believe the earlier statements made by the Ottawa Police leadership related to funding, supporting, enabling unlawful and harmful activity by protesters to be directed to outside groups that are regularly associated with violent behavior and destruction of public property and private property. This is not what our freedom movement stands for. My question to the Chief of Police is this: What better place in Canada to exercise Section 2 of your Charter of Rights and Freedoms, including peaceful assembly, freedom of expression, and freedom of association, than in the nation's capital? While I appreciate the Chief of Police being under enormous pressure from the Mayor and Council, we agree with him in his earlier statement that this is not an issue to be resolved by the police. Rather, it is an issue to be resolved by the politicians. When the Chief of Police in his statement said that the Freedom Convoy are extremely committed to resisting efforts to end the demonstration safely, and that the situation is volatile and dangerous, that is categorically and demonstrably false. The only thing causing volatility and danger in Ottawa, are irresponsible public statements meant to put pressure on the Freedom Convoy. I would challenge anyone to provide examples of a more peaceful demonstration on this scale. You, sir, are on the wrong side of history. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Danny.
My name is Danny Bulford. I resigned from the RCMP over the mandates, and I am currently the liaison for the Adopt a Trucker Volunteer Coordination Center. Throughout this last week, I've been working closely with the police in efforts to maintain open lines of communication, because police and public safety is paramount, and it always will be to me. I would like to inform you of two specific examples of deliberate false information published by legacy media. On Wednesday, February 3rd, I forwarded information to the Ottawa Police Service, the RCMP, and the Parliamentary Protective Service about a male local to Ottawa who I know to be a security concern. I forwarded social media posts about fighting cops, being arrested at the protest area, claiming to be a terrorist, and carrying weapons. Further to the social media posts, he advised not to go to the Truckers Convoy because it is evil, and that's what evil people do. And he was quoted at the bottom, "You get what you deserve, prepare for the worst." The various police liaisons thanked me for sharing this information. The next day, on February 4th, I was made aware of a CBC article that was published on the 1st about two people that had been arrested and charged that were associated to the Freedom Convoy, despite no reports of such activity from any police liaisons during daily phone calls to discuss security policing concerns. The article in the CBC detailed that Andre J. Lacasse of Ottawa had been charged with carrying a weapon to a public meeting. Mr. Lacasse was the same person I had shared the intelligence with police about. The same person who told others not to attend the truck protest because they are evil people. The article also indicated another 29-year-old Ottawa man had been charged with mischief under $5,000, making it appear this man was also part of the convoy protest. However, it was reported to me that this was likely the same smashed building glass incident that had been reported to police by one of the truck drivers. And I would just like to note that the CBC article also mentions vandalism, which is true. Many trucks have been vandalized and spray painted throughout the night, to the point where truckers and security volunteers are working to establish a community watch style patrol, not just for the trucks, but for the neighborhood that they are parked in. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
If I may, Lincoln J. with Rebel News. Now, have you guys specifically seen the allegations made against you regarding reports of violence and other unlawful activity? Have they communicated with you guys personally?
In some of my conversations with the Ottawa Police, it kind of became a point of contention whether or not, the interactions with the frontline police officers. From every indication that we have had, or I've had, talking with the truck drivers, dealing with the frontline police on the streets has been outstanding. It's been incredibly positive. It's been really, really quite cordial between all the truckers in the frontline police that they're interacting with every single day.
Now, have you been consulted by GoFundMe, the government, the Ottawa Police? Has there been any sort of communication regarding the GoFundMe?
Between the...
Any more information on the money being seized at all?
I think the lawyers that we're in touch with have been in direct communications with GoFundMe. So that's probably a better question for them to get involved with. I should stay out of that one.
I guess you answered my following question. So have you and your team considered any legal action?
I suppose I tipped our hat to the legal team that's involved, because this is now probably, it's become a legal matter from my understanding.
And I believe you said that there is a alternative funding plan in place, correct? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, the name of the alternative funding plan, and I believe just previous to coming down here, it was well over 100,000. Within the first hour, I believe it was over 50,000 within the first hour. It's now almost tripled that in the last 2 hours. It's called Give, Send, Go. So it's growing very rapidly. I do believe that GoFundMe has put out direction to its donors on what they should do if they want their funds returned to them. I also donated to this before I was even involved with the convoy. I donated my money. I will be taking my own personal money out of the GoFundMe campaign, and I will be redonating it back into the Give, Send, Go.
So at this point in time, it looks like the original money from the GoFundMe account is not going to be able to be taken back.
What they have offered, my understanding, I wasn't in the room for that, so this is what my understanding is that GoFundMe has offered, I believe, until they've given a deadline for people to get a refund on their donations in their GoFundMe account to a certain deadline. After that, I believe GoFundMe has said that they would take that money and donate it to charity organizations.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.